Hello there YouTube, and welcome back to War Thunder, guys, and welcome to the second video of the day. Now, it's not very often that I do two videos, but I've got some free time on my hands, and the last month or so I've been receiving messages through PSN, through War Thunder itself, comments on videos, and now Discord, asking from PlayStation guys about my controller setup and basically how I do it, because you can see when I'm playing, if you're on console, that it is slightly different to the default. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm just going to show you how I've got mine set up. Also guys, I do use a keyboard. I still use a controller, but I have a Bluetooth keyboard just for extra key bindings and convenience on my part. You can use a traditional wired keyboard, just plug it straight into the USB and it will work. But I do prefer the Bluetooth one because I have dogs, I live in a small flat, and the last thing I need is my Doberman having a funny 5 minutes and yanking the keyboard and the PlayStation across the room with him as he decides to butt scoot past. So for convenience, Bluetooth is definitely the best way for me. So I'll start with the planes, and for the most part this is how it is for default. As you can see, I have B for the Bombay, S for salvo, M for the cannons, and moving down there's really not much that's different. As you can see here, this is the rudder control. This is so when I'm landing I can turn the plane using the rudder so that I don't go off the end of the runway, or if I end up in a weird position or actually coming off the runway because I'm moving too quickly, I can turn around and then sort of drive myself back up onto the runway and to start repairing. Right shift for igniting the boosters. What else do we have? I think that's it. I didn't really do much with the planes because I actually prefer it the way it is. Oh, cockpit lighting and open cockpit here, and I think that's it. I think the tanks are the ones that's been done the most. So here we are for tanks. Now, as you can see, I've got R2 for the main gun, R1 for the secondary gun. So if you're in something like a mouse, R2 is the 128mm, R1 is the coaxial 75, as well as the machine guns, and 5 from special rockets is or special guns is, say, if you're in the M26 T99 or the Calliope, I can use the rockets, but it does fire the machine guns at the same time. But to be quite honest, if you're blasting rockets or something across the map, shooting a few machine gun bullets really doesn't make a difference. They're going to notice you anyway. Moving down, X is for smoke grenades. If you're playing arcade, X is also for highlighting targets, so you may not want to bind it to X. But I don't play arcade, so it doesn't really make a difference to me. Spacebar is for the smoke screen, for things like the T64 and things like that. Hang on, yeah, there we go. L1, sniper mode. I know that it usually is triangle, but as I say, I changed mine. I also have here right D-pad is the driver's view, so through the little driver's optics. Left on the D-pad is for the binoculars. Nothing for stabilizer mode because you don't need that. You're not going to turn it off. Why would you? Moving down again, this is all default here. I haven't touched any of this. This is for the suspension here. Again, 1 to 7 on the keyboard. Relatively easy. The reason I've done it 2 there and 1 there is if you press 1 to go forward, lower the nose, then you know what it is, then it makes more sense if you do it that way. Triangle to repair the tank, ammo select, R1 and circle is my extinguishers, R1 and triangle is the event selection menu, S on the keyboard is scouting when you're looking through the binoculars, and this one here, sight distance control, when moving the crosshairs up and down, like when I'm sniping. On the keyboard you have the directional keys, up, down, left, right. That is what that is. Right shift is to reset it. So if I click on this, you can see right shift is to actually reset it from, say I'm lined up at 900 meters, right shift, and it reverts it to 0. Rangefinder is R2. Very important to have rangefinder if you're playing realistic or sim. Comes in very, very handy. Over to the ships. This I really haven't touched too much. It's pretty much default. I really didn't want to piss about with this too much, simply because I'm not even sure if the controls are going to remain the same as they are at the moment. Simply because it's still in CBT, so it might change. So I haven't really done that much. As you can see, D for depth charges, M for mines. These I've changed some of these as well because I had to. Going down, I don't think I've actually done much to it. I think it's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, other look, you got here extinguishers, E, R for repair, B for the breaches. Don't need to do the tow rope because that goes on the event menu. Space again for smoke screen. Common settings, if you want to see these, I'll show you. I've taken the touchpad off as well for things like for using that. I mean, you can still click the touchpad on mine to show whatchamacallit. Okay. Onto common if you want to see this. So circle for tactical map. The touchpad here is if you touch this and you're on default settings, it will fire your cannon. I removed that binding and just touched it for statistics. Do not want to touch that and then randomly shoot off a round into the distance, because I might be hiding in bushes and stuff. The last thing I want is to accidentally fire my cannon and give my position away. R3, that shows the modules like that are damaged or backslash for my keyboard. X is to lock a target, but as I say, I don't play arcade, so I don't really use that. Return, chat. Right shift, return is general chat, but I can also press tab. So yeah, what I'll do is actually just remove that, set up binding, return, add, because if I click on that, I mean, I can switch tab. Look, switch chat mode, tab. So that one, I don't know why it was like that. Maybe I don't know why it was like that. Call artillery X. Call artillery aiming is triangle. Cancel artillery circle. Yep. When I'm recording, taking screenshots, I'll press H on the keyboard. It removes my HUD. Left Alt on my on my keyboard shows the cursor, so I can check the statistics of shells that I'm using, rather than having to press circle and lose my vision of in front of me. Square to zoom the camera, which is default. Haven't touched none of the messages because I don't need to, and that's that. Okay then, so spectator camera. This won't affect the majority of players unless you're actually planning on recording. I don't use the replay files very often. It's once in a blue moon I'll use them. Sometimes for something funny that's happened, like in my win and fails video where those two planes crashed into each other, just so you can see it from a different point of view, because I didn't actually see them crash when I was in game. Or so I can take a cinematic screenshot, or maybe make a cinematic intro with no sort of HUD and the tanks driving along or planes flying in, etc. So I got gun view 1, wing view 2, flyby view is 3, operator view, free camera, and random camera positions, and F is the free chase camera. It's pretty straightforward, not very complicated, because it doesn't need to be. You don't need to go completely all out. A lot of these you don't need. Zoom in and out you don't need. Hover mode you don't need. You can use that all by pausing it and using the touchpad to move, change the rotation, using the analog sticks to move in and out, up and down, and it's pretty straightforward. If there are any questions about the controllers and the setups, if it's not working for you, please do contact me and I will help you if I can. You can contact me through PSN, as I say. You can contact me through War Thunder, but it's not as easy doing it through War Thunder. I can't send screenshots or anything like that. Your best bet is PSN, Discord, and possibly just typing in on the video, and I can help you if I can. So guys, I hope everyone's enjoyed this. If you are new to the channel and you are new to this game on PlayStation, please feel free to subscribe, guys, and if you do, hit the notification bell for updates on future content. Also, a thumbs up is appreciated, and until next time guys, I will see you soon and have fun.